Lately I've been feeling things change. We've been working hard, no sleep, get it every day. And I swear that we ain't stopping till we pay. Yeah, the pressure on, gotta make it work. Triple play, yeah.
This is Triple Play Fantasy Basketball Week 8, fresh off of LeBron's 5th championship, in-season tournament, inaugural year. They're going crazy in Vegas. He's about to get his own franchise in a couple of years. You know, we already know he's a billionaire, but the man just adds to his resume. Not 39 yet, but 39,000 points in the books, on his way to 50,000. What's going on, Doc?
I mean, Coach,
what's going on, Doc?
I mean, look at your background. It's just full LeBron stuff. You're wearing a LeBron jersey. Like, how? I'm surprised that you're not on your knees right now. Like, you are just going bananas talking about LeBron this early in the morning.
My guy is incredible. Ceases to amaze anything in basketball history. Not only does he have 39,000, he's got another 8,000 in the playoffs. Bro, he's about to be on 50,000 total points. Once it's all said and done,
you have to find a new co-host. We continue
2 years down the road. I mean, come on. They were like, "Hey, we're gonna do an in-season." He's like, "I got you. I know how to win. I'm gonna lock in." They didn't lose a game, not a single game. And yeah, AD had 40 and 20, but like, bro, we all know LeBron carried it the whole way.
No, I didn't.
The entire way.
No, I didn't.
Did you know that versus KD, he's 23 and 15?
I mean, that's an above 500. It's not like he's
no. With KD with the Warriors, he's like 11 and 2 versus LeBron. So like,
okay, what about when LeBron was with the Heat?
Every single time.
What about when LeBron is with the Heat? We can cherry pick stats all day, Coach.
Yeah, when LeBron was with the Heat, he went heads up with Kevin Durant in the NBA Finals and spanked his ass 4-1.
Yep. And remind me who took a strategic pay cut to play with them. Coach, people ain't hear us to talk about LeBron. He wouldn't even.
It's fantasy. Yeah. And if you had LeBron James this past week, you got an extra game. Unless it's ESPN, which they don't include the final game. That was weird. Right? The season was over on Friday, but like with that, and today's still Sunday. If you're watching, use your pickups. Get the guys that have a good schedule. Hey, the Lakers have a good schedule because they play 2 streamable days, days that teams don't have too many games. Team to watch, teams with 3. This is important. These are like teams with 2 in a normal week because mostly everyone plays 4, which is like a jam-packed week. Basically, every team plays on Monday. But the Lakers, the Grizzlies, the Wolves, the Thunder, the Raptors, and Magic do not. Although the Lakers do play on Tuesday, Wednesday. So stream early with those guys, whether it's Cam Reddish, Rui Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt. I mean, maybe it's not like the craziest names, but if you get a couple games that you wouldn't have gotten and then you cut ties and then you look later in the week, the Suns is a big stream week for them. They play Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's important to know the schedule because you don't want to just stream a guy on Monday when all the teams play and all your guys are rolling. The Celtics are another team that you could possibly stream because they play Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. The Celtics and the Warriors do that on stream days of Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. So Warriors and Celtics, think about those guys later in the week. We'll start with a Celtics guy. Al Horford was going bananas in the last couple weeks. Obviously, Porzingis, being out adds to his fantasy value. If he is out anytime you pick him up, I picked him up and he's going crazy. Like 12 points, 10 boards, almost 4 assists. I mean, I'm definitely rounding up there. 60% from the floor, 1.83. Like categories leagues, you're like going like this is cool. They do have a back-to-back this week, so he will miss again. He doesn't play those back-to-backs, but he's still a streamable candidate. If you got to pick up for the week, think about people on the Celtics. Think about Sam Hauser, because Sam Hauser is the man. You give him a couple games, he's gonna give you 8 threes. He's gonna give you like 24 points. But you know, if you got to stream somebody from the Celtics, you think about these players. What's your take on Al Horford, power forward center eligible, which is one of my favorite
The multi-eligibility.
I love it.
Especially a center and a forward. I mean, James, you hit the nail on the head. Like he should be rostered in more than 53% of leagues. So that is a little bit surprising from a categories league. I mean, he had a double-double last game against the Knicks, 14 and 10. But he's able to hit 3 threes. He's hit 4 in a game this season, giving you some assists, 0.5 steals, 1 block, shoots 49% for the floor in during the season. I know that last 2 weeks he probably won't catch up to 61.1. I will say from a points league, I'm a little bit more hesitant because his games are going to fluctuate. Like he'll put up 20 and then he put up 2 the next game against the Pacers. And when you have ball dominant players like a Jason Tatum, like a Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday here and there, like you said, Sam Hauser, I'm more.
Hey, Drew Holiday got cooked, bro, by Tyrese Halliburton. It was the Tyrese Halliburton show.
Halliburton's on another one. Halliburton's on
God.
another one. But I would just be more skeptical about the production from a points league perspective for Al Horford.
Definitely, but if he plays Giannis every night, like he's a top 60 player in fantasy.
That's facts.
Moving on. I don't even know how to introduce. Can you just talk? Because like I have nothing to say about this.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. It's just like James just wants to put my guys down sometimes. And we have like a Google Doc share of, you know, what guys we talk. James was the one that put Patrick Williams in here back-to-back weeks, 43% rostered. But
you know why? Because he scored 20, I don't know, for the first time and God knows when.
Okay, so he's scored
getting lucky.
So he scored 20 against the Spurs on December 8th. He scored 20 at Nets November 26th. And he had double digits in 4 out of those 5 games, shooting 59% over the last 2 weeks. 1.3 steals, 1.3 blocks. Like, coach, he is killing it from a categories perspective. Zach LaVine out at least an additional 3 weeks with right foot inflammation. Patrick Williams, 4th pick in the 2020 NBA draft. He is getting his time to shine. Now,
he's had more games with 0 points. He's had 3 games with 0 points. Then he's had 20, which he's had 2, and it's exactly 20. So like, let's pump the brakes a little bit here.
Oh my God, look at it.
You're getting value in the last 2 weeks. I'll give
James,
you that. Whatever.
James, we're a basketball pod, but you're talking football because you're moving the goalposts.
Can y'all hear my cricket in the background? I am in here in the basement. Torrey Craig, I don't know. Maybe they're just playing these guys so that they can ship them out. But like, please, Chicago, make a move. Get rid of these guys. 2% rostered, small forward, power forward eligible. A contending team could use a guy like this. But then last week, 11 points, 6 boards, and we know that these Zach LaVine minutes are being allocated to other players in usage as well, as we've seen with Patrick Williams' quasi production. I mean, he's still under 15, but. Yeah, look for these Bulls guys to, plug and play as you go along.
Torrey Craig,
go ahead.
Good bet. I mean, averaging 5 rebounds on the season, 5.4 with Phoenix last year. You know, he's a guy that plays 20 to 25 minutes. He can get hot. 2%. I'm not saying he's a must add, but he should be rostered in more leagues than that.
Yeah, especially deeper leagues. And we do sprinkle in some deeper
5
leagues.
5 threes last game.
Yeah, that's a nice line. I ain't gonna lie. Killian Hayes, the return of Killian Hayes. It comes back. He's starting. We like the point guard, shooting guard eligibility. 29% roster in last week. 14 points, 5.5 rebounds, 4 assists, shooting 50%. That's the big number here because we know he can't shoot. This is for children and adults show, but he can't shoot. Which the mockery in Detroit just continues. At least Bogey came back. I told you, get on Bojan Bogdanovic. He's the man. I got him in both leagues, and he is cooking right now. Asar Thompson has taken quite a dip. If you got to drop him, you got to drop him. Like, just because like the minutes ain't working out. If you got to drop Isaiah Stewart, like I told you to do, like I did, do it. I didn't do it soon enough. But Killian is kind of killing it right now.
I don't know what to expect with Detroit players the rest of the season. I swear nobody messes with more lineups than Monty Williams. One of my favorite things is to just look at Josh Lloyd tweets daily where he bashes the Pistons.
Yeah.
But
free Ivy.
But the thing about, you brought up Bogdanovich, back-to-back games with 22 points, then scored 9 the following one. I mean, we talked about Killian Hayes, I think, week 2 on this show. Then he had an awful stretch. And then over the last 4 games, the points, 16, 12, 13, 23. But also the minutes have gone up. But he did nothing prior to that to earn more minutes. It's just Monty toying with different lineups. So I would say stream him. But, I mean, this is probably somebody we're going to tell you to cut in the next week or two when he goes from high 20s, low 30s in minutes back down to 16, 17, 14 like he had mid-November.
And I think this is a good kind of just pathway to our next player because we're talking about a streamable player. Killian Hayes is somebody in your league that's probably been picked up, dropped more than anyone else. Like
he's a roller.
Yeah, you don't feel bad streaming him in the weeks that they have more games or the time where Monty Williams is playing them more. Caleb Martin is somebody last year that I personally picked up and dropped like 5 times. Shooting guard, small forward eligibility last week. 19.5 points, 9 boards, 3.5 assists, 1.5 blocks. This is category. This can help you win a league or a week, I should say. If you did pick him up, he's got 4 games this week. He does play 2 of his games on those heavy rotation days on Monday and on Saturday. So like I wouldn't say he's a must stream. If anything, if you had him, you could cut ties with him and pick somebody else up, maybe on the Celtics, maybe on the Lakers.
You think so?
Yeah.
I thought you'd be beating the drum for Caleb Martin more than you
I
are.
love me some Caleb Martin. Like, I'm not going to lie, but I also understand like weekly lineups and how you just need to adjust as a fantasy owner week to week.
Here's my thing.
It gets so tight.
Is there any team that plays with a smaller rotation than the Heat? Heat play with 8-9 man rotation consistently. They only had 8 guys play against the Cavs on Friday, and against the Raptors, the game before that, they had 9 guys play, and Jovic had 3 minutes. Caleb Martin is averaging over 31 minutes over the last week. I know we don't put minutes in here, but they're grinding him out. I mean, I feel like we talk about a new Heat person to add each week.
Yeah, which makes them stream candidates. I wouldn't say they're a tight hold. I have Jaime Jaquez, and he's my bottom of my roster guy that I will probably cut this week. When I'm looking at who plays Saturday, Sunday, the Warriors, the Bucks, and Blazers, I'm probably gonna cut him and stream somebody on those rosters. But Caleb Martin plays heavy minutes. That's why you like as a fantasy owner, you like looking at Heat players.
He's taken 15 shots at least in 4 out of the last 6 games. Love that volume.
Yeah, and he's a gamer. He's a hooper. We saw that against Boston when he was just going insane. Orlando Robinson is benefiting with Bam Adebayo out last week. 22% rostered, 10 points, 10 boards, hitting threes, which is I guess, that's just player development over there in Miami, which we all know that they're the best.
On top of fantasy production.
Yeah,
there's a little added benefit.
Wow. You didn't see that coming out of college, and he came out early out of Fresno State.
He's 23 years old. He's still young.
Free agent, not drafted, even though he came out, he's 7 foot. He's got some potential, and much like Omer Yurtseven, who benefited in his starting role when he was playing for Miami, so is Orlando Robinson. You're going to get stats with the Miami guys. Because you mentioned that, Doc, gotta give you credit on that, mentioning the short rotations that Spo runs. When he likes to keep it low, and those guys benefit from those heavy minutes.
James, I know this is a small sample size. Guess what Orlando Robinson's shooting from 3 for the season? It's a small sample size, but just guess what he's shooting.
God. By your excitement, he's shooting 40% from 3.
He's shooting 85.7%.
Shut up.
Like I said, it's a small sample size. I'm not gonna say what it is, but 85.7%.
He must be so wide open. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get to catch any Miami tape, but I'm gonna catch him out this week on the League Pass.
Yeah, I mean, blocks in back-to-back games, 3 steals, shooting a good percentage. I mean, that's going to be tied to Bam's value, but even when Bam is healthy, I mean, the Heat, Jimmy Butler, Bam, they're good for some load management.
Yeah, we'll see if he plays a minute when that happens. We've seen what Yurt 7 was doing, Dennis Rodman numbers, and then Bam came back and played 0 minutes.
I know, free him.
Nick Richards, much like Orlando Robinson, when he plays, he gets points. He has rebounds. He shoots a high percentage. In the last week, giving you 10.5 points, 9.5 boards, 1.5 blocks. He'll get you that category as well. He doesn't hit threes. Doesn't do too much other than that. But if you see some scratch offs, Mark Williams not playing, but he's a guy that you tend to look at. He's a good streamable candidate.
Little Nicky Richards. Welcome back to the pod. Second time for the season. So Nick Richards had a concussion and was out 7 games. And I think we've seen the NBA handle the concussion protocol a little bit differently. Jeremy Grant got one, has been out back-to-back games. There's no timetable on his return. His first game, he played 9 minutes, easing him back in. But the last one's 28, 26 minutes. You see the 6 points, 11 rebounds, 3 blocks, 15 points, 8 rebounds, and a steal. I mean, he's efficient. Obviously, he's playing behind Mark Williams. But once again, the Hornets kind of don't have a solid rotation down. They just brought back Miles Bridges from his suspension. LaMelo Ball's out for the foreseeable future. So he's somebody that I would be keeping tabs on. You know, if Charlotte has a favorable schedule, I think he's that first to add from there. Definitely more of a categories and a points league guy, but somebody that I think should be getting more minutes because when he does play, he is producing.
Yeah. Staying away. Isaiah Hartenstein,
he's staying away from you.
Yeah, Isaiah Hartenstein benefited from a game versus Boston where he had 16 rebounds. As a fantasy guy, it's hard to watch because Mitchell Robinson is going to get those minutes. And even when Mitchell Robinson has been out like last year, he doesn't really get his number called too often. He had like that awesome first game last season where it was like first week was like got to get Hartenstein, and then he doesn't play much after that. I think this is smoke and mirrors, and I'm staying away from a game where he benefited against Boston.
I mean, but Mitchell Robinson's about to get hurt. Do you think Mitchell Robinson will make it through the rest of the season healthy?
Ideally, because I own him in one of my.
We're talking about ideally, but I'm talking about realistically. Do you think Mitchell Robinson is going to play the rest of the season and not get hurt?
No. Also,
his ankles are literally strung together by rubber bands.
Yeah, I mean, he's bound to get hurt or at least dinged up a little bit. And the Knicks are not the same without him. I don't like that they took Julius Randle's power forward center eligibility away. He's just a power forward in Yahoo. But if, like said, an injury like that happens, I think that you see Tibbs going with him and maybe Hart at the 4 with those minutes. And then I think that Hart will really benefit from a Mitchell Robinson injury as opposed to Isaiah Hartenstein. Okay. That's just my thought.
Okay. I guess we'll see because it's going to happen.
We will. On our future pod, we will talk about Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah. We'll play back this clip.
Dallas, 2 guys that have been benefiting. We're talking about injuries. Dante Exum, Derrick Jones Jr. Both of these guys have benefited from getting some more usage, some time, and Derrick Jones Jr. is shooting the ball better than I feel like he's ever have. And in the last 2 weeks, 16 points, 5 boards, almost 3 threes, a block and a steal. Like that's rosterable type of statistics. And then last week, Dante Exum, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, and taking a year off from the NBA, coming back, trying to have a resurgence. Like, let's hear your take on these two guys because I don't even really think that we've talked about either of these guys in the last 3 years.
We talked about Derrick Jones Jr. a couple weeks. I mean, I think Dante Exum.
Yeah, we did. We talked about him with the Bulls. You're right.
I think Dante Exum is a good streamer. If Luka or Kyrie is out, we were talking about that with Josh Hardy last year. Dallas seems to just always
Jaden Hardy.
Hardy. I'm thinking of Josh Green. Sorry, I combined the two. But no, I think it's a good streamer because so much of that offense flows through the point guard position. I'm more interested in Derrick Jones Jr. I mean, I was big on Grant Williams. I thought who was going to be the third scorer. Tim Hardaway he is what he is. But Derrick Jones Jr., 12 attempts in 3 out of the last 4 games, shooting a high volume from 3. I mean, he went 1 of 7 last game, so I am willing to give him a little bit of a pass on there. But he's 6'6" with a 7-foot wingspan. And I think that's what really bodes well for steals and blocks. I mean, 4 stocks the last 2 games, 3 the game before that, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2. Like, from a categories league, he is going to contribute in multiple. He's not going to pass the ball. He doesn't have more than 1 assist on for a game this season. So don't stream him for assists. But I think Derrick Jones Jr. is going to be someone that you could have the rest of the season, be that last man that you add to your bench, maybe the first person you cut. But he played 39 minutes at Blazers December 8th. Like, they're playing him.
The way I'm looking at this week, I'm streaming Lakers and Suns early because Monday basically every team plays, so you're gonna have people that are on the bench. I look to them early. Grayson Allen is somebody that I picked up today because I used one of my pickups from last week. I know he is game to game right now with a groin situation. If Eric Gordon is there.
Bradley Beal is a full participant in practice.
He's back, yes. Yeah, he's back. Those guys will still play, though. I think that if Eric Gordon's there, you got to get him.
Team Josh Okogie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Josh Okogie better.
It's not terrible.
I mean, not fantasy wise. I like him as a real life basketball player. Real life Josh Okogie stan.
All right.
What's the clamps on?
We'll get you a Okogie jersey. Maybe, hopefully, we can get him on a pod. It's been a while since we had an interview.
He puts the clamps on. 2 steals, 2 blocks, 0 points yesterday against the Kings. But he's the best perimeter defender on that team.
Thinking about later in the week, Saturday, Sunday streams. Teams that play both of those days are the Warriors, Bucks, and Blazers. There's a lot of different guys that you could look at there. Bobby Portis, who's not having a great year, he might be available. And then depending on lineups, like who's in, who's out, the Warriors, like there's a lot of guys, whether it's Moody, whether it's Kuminga,
Say it. The guy I talked about a couple weeks ago. Say it.
Well, there's Looney. Who are you referring
Dario
to?
Saric.
Oh, or Dario Saric, yeah. Those are guys that you could look at. The Blazers, it's finally looking like all their guards are coming in. So back off injuries. It's interesting to see how that all plays out because throughout the season, there's been ups and downs, people in and out the lineup. So we'll see how the minutes break down there for Brogdon, for Scoot Henderson, for Shaedon Sharp, for who's just back. Right. So we'll see how that all plays out. But yeah, those are teams that you look at late. And then as far as a Sunday, Monday, Rockets and Wizards, if you want to get ahead of the schedule on Saturday or Sunday when you need to stream, think about a Wizards player or a Rockets player. That's
only time we'll tell you to add a Wizards player this season, most likely.
Yeah. Jordan Poole's been ass. Did you cash?
Nope.
I
was like Jordan Poole.
Or like KD at the buzzer. Hey, shout out to referees for giving timeouts undeserved. I appreciate that. That helped us win our 5th championship. For all the LeBron fans out there, we appreciate you. I feel like I can stand on the mountain. I've been there since day one, since St. Vincent, St. Mary. Don't call me a bandwagon like my middle school students do.
Guys, I have to break news. This will be my last time on the show if James keeps talking about LeBron. You're gonna have to find a new co-host.
I gotta do it while it's still here, bro. What are you talking about? Like, we're witnessing greatness. He's
All
almost
right,
40. We're on our
it's
way out.
we're at the 25-minute mark, and we've talked about LeBron for like 3 minutes, and we're not even talking. He's not even a fantasy basketball player you should add on the waiver wire.
I mean, when he's scoring 30 points in 23 minutes, I mean, he's definitely the guy. He put that to bed early. Everybody in Vegas out there. Anyways, shout out LeBron. Shout out to him, about to be a franchise owner come 3 years from now. We'll play back the clip with Doc with the hands in the face. Till next time. Yeah, I had to boast a little bit. Also on the way out, by the end of tonight, I will be first place in both leagues. So
My
shout out
ears are
Doc
bleeding.
for helping me out to do that. I appreciate you. Till next time, where Doc probably gets some bragging rights. I'm just gonna end on this clip. We don't even play the outro. See you next week. For Doc, I'm GOAT James, Chairman. Shout out LeBron. Peace.